Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry over at What Are You Doing? With another great interview and guest, Carlo Mahfouz. Welcome, Carlo.
Thank you, Ambassador Daria. Great to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the famous question. Carlo Mahfouz, what are you doing?
Thank you, Terry. So I worked most of my life in corporate innovation and digital transformation. And when COVID hit in 2020, I kind of got this reality check moment, which allowed me to think about what we can do better and how we can improve and ask much better questions. And that crystallized for me very well when a major explosion happened in Lebanon in August, which kind of shook me and get me to question why things are happening in our world which are not necessarily always in a positive light, and how we can do better to solve the problems which are extremely complex. But we should be able to solve them. Like some of them, when COVID hit, like healthcare was top of mind relatively very quickly, like instantaneously we switched our focus. So why is that? Like, why aren't we asking those questions at all? And that took me down this journey of exploration into a book which I wrote, which was called Reality Check: In Pursuit of the Right Questions. How can we better ask better questions? How can we have these reality check modes, which really allows us to like snap out of where we are and figure out what is the right thing to look into. And I was, leaning back into my background as an engineer. I do what I do best. I went and I reversed engineer what that looks like. And I ended up breaking it out to three main components, which is context, time, and observer. And I did that through multiple interviews with entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, people who have had these reality check moments in their lives. And we were able to like figure out something that not everyone was able to see a difference in, like the patterns, the problems. And out of those, I extrapolated some insights and lessons that we could all use to create reality check moments on demand. And I think that's extremely powerful, to be able to see the right questions in front of us to solve problems which are immensely complex, especially today in today's age where AI is coming at us fast, technology keeps rushing through, so many distractions from every angle. And it's becoming harder and harder to really get a grasp on what should be our priority, where we should be our focus, what problems should we fix first, or even address first. And I think reality check is one of the ways. It's a tool, it's a framework, it's a mindset of how you can approach this prioritization, this clearing of your thought process to be able to focus. And recently, the book has been out now for a while, and recently I've got one of the reviews coming and saying, it has been great to connect with this book and be able to figure out myself and see through this thread of identity that you brought in. And the reason I talk about identity is because I'm originally from Lebanon. I migrated to the States. I've been working for a while with different countries and different cultures. And this identity kind of, not crisis, but identification of where you see yourself and how that works has always been there. And this reviewer was able to catch on that and really say that it allowed them to accept their identity, even though it's multiple, and that the multiple identities can exist in us without feeling that we lose something and not necessarily connect to it. So that was really amazing to hear. And it's always great to see, your work actually making an impact and changing how people think and how they see the world. And I think that's amazing.
Right. And you're doing some cool stuff. You got a newsletter out that's very relevant. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Absolutely. So the newsletter comes out every other Thursday, and it's really, I write similar topics on reality check. So I ask you three questions on three different topics, one which is leadership, innovation, and awareness. And the idea is to kind of take you out of your daily life and ask you something which probably you didn't focus on, just to expand your vision, expand your reach, how you view. And I add to that a poem because I think creativity and the way we are inspired needs to touch our soul. Otherwise, not everything is logical. Not everything comes from just our causational mindset. So I think poetry is an amazing way to express in multi-dimension what I would say logic cannot. And the last thing I add is a way, a resource, like one small resource that you can use and leverage.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for joining me, Carlo. This has been fabulous. And thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now. Let's talk thought leadership today.